Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to think about what I'm gonna say.
Okay. You're doing great.
Do I look okay?
Okay.
Okay. Hi, my name is Teresa, and this is my story. So something that has impacted my life in a negative way was my first breakup. I have never been in a relationship before then. As soon as I went through that breakup, it was so hard. And they always say, like, your first breakup is the worst. Your first love is the worst. And I could say that was my first love. And it was like a love that I never felt before. It was something that, you know, I always heard people say, like, oh my God, like, when you're in love, like, you feel this, like, feeling, and it's just undescribable and all this stuff. And I just never believed it. I was just like, what the heck? Like, when am I going to feel that? Or I would like somebody, or I would crush on the people, and I would be like, okay, is this what love feels like? Or I just didn't know. Until I got into that relationship, and I was like, okay. When I went through that breakup, it was heartbreaking. It was so heartbreaking for me. And I just didn't know what to do. And I fell into depression. And that was the moment where I thought that my whole world was falling apart, even though everybody was like, oh my God, like, this is not the end of it. This is not the end of the world. Like, calm down. And I get that now. Like, it wasn't the end of the world. Like, it was a thing that just, like, had to happen, or it was a thing that I had to go through. But at that moment, it was just, like, the hardest thing of my life. So the one thing that really, like, affected me was the last time I saw my ex. That's when I realized that I had lost myself completely. I loved this person more than I loved myself, more than I loved anybody and anything. I feel like what happened that day, both of our emotions were, like, just super high, and we were just crazy that day. Like, we just didn't know what we were doing, both of us, not just me. But to just, I guess, shorten it up, we were at Target, and I had asked him to meet me there in Atlanta in the parking lot of Target. And I had gotten in his car, and we were in the parking lot just talking, and I just pretty much was begging him to stay with me. And I just kept telling him, like I love you, all this stuff, I want you to stay with me. And he told me no. He said that you have to go. He's like, we can't do this anymore. Like, it's not gonna work. So when I was trying to leave, when he was trying to leave, I wouldn't let him go. And I held on to his car door handle, and he was driving around the parking lot, and I was still holding on, still running around, holding on to this car, and people were literally watching us, but I didn't care. I was crying, but he eventually stopped the car, and he just got out, and that's where I just literally just fell to the ground. And I remember this lady came up to me and was like, are you okay? And she literally saved my life, because if it wasn't for her, I don't know what I would have done. But I think I would have gotten even crazier, because I was literally risking my life, not his, but mine, for him. And I don't think he knew that. I don't think he understood that. And I don't think I understood that either, because I was literally holding onto this car door while he was driving. So this lady comes up to me, and she gives me a hug. She's like, I was watching the whole thing, and I want you to know that, you know, everything is gonna be okay and all this stuff. She asked me if that was my boyfriend, and I said, it used to be, it's my ex now. And she's just like, I want you to know that, you know, you are a great person. You seem like a really sweet person and very caring, but please let him go. And I would never forget her telling me this, like, just let him go. And she told me, if he's meant for you, he'll come back. But right now, at this moment, you just need to let him go. And that's when I was just like, dang, like, even this lady, this stranger out of nowhere is coming up to me and telling me to let this person go. Yeah, I honestly think that she was sent from God. Like, she literally saved me at that moment. And I would never forget that lady, and whoever that lady is, thank you so much, because without you, I don't think I would have left. But I left that day, right after she told me that. But after that happened, I think so many things started falling apart. It was just the worst feeling ever. There were days where I had to sleep with my parents. There were days where I had to sleep with my siblings because I could not sleep alone. And if I did sleep, I had to sleep downstairs in the living room because I could not sleep in my room. I don't know, something about my room, I felt depressed in my room. And there were some days where I just couldn't even sleep in my house. I had to sleep in my grandparents' house because I just did not want to stay here. And there were also nights where I prayed. Oh my God. Okay, there were also nights where I prayed to God. I don't want to cry. I prayed to God to end my life. I told him, I was just like, let it be my time. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to feel this pain. It was the worst feeling ever. And I remember there were times where I would be driving on, like, going to school or coming back from school, and I remember that I just wanted to, like, drive off the road. At the beginning of this year, I got in an accident, and that accident opened up my whole mindset. Like, I thought so differently after that accident. I destroyed my car completely. Nothing happened to anybody, but I was in the car with two of my friends and I was driving. I was coming back from Providence Valley, and it was literally 2 hours away from where I live. And yeah, we got in a car accident, and I just remember it was so fast, but it was so slow at the same time. I just never felt that feeling before. It was just the craziest, scariest moment of my life. And that's when my whole life changed. I just felt like I was taken advantage of so many things of my life. Like, that's when I felt like God was telling me, like, you wanted me to take your life. I didn't, but this could have happened. Like, I could have taken your life at this moment, but I didn't do it because there's a reason why you're here. And that's kept playing in my head. And after that car accident, the thing that I always told myself was that there's a reason for everything. Everything happens for a reason. The way I felt before, that feeling of, like, feeling pain in your chest, not being able to breathe, not being able to sleep, not being able to eat, and just feeling so down, I never wanted anybody to feel that way. I hated the feeling. I wouldn't wish this feeling or pain onto my enemies. Like, I would never. It was the worst pain ever, the worst feeling ever. And so I wanted to start a brand, and I started talking to my best friend Megan, and she helped me out with it, and she actually gave me the idea of making these videos, and I loved it. Something that I would tell someone that is going through the same thing that I did is that everything happens for a reason. Literally everything happens for a reason. And that's what I told myself every single day. There's a reason why you went through what you went through, or there's a reason why you're going through what you're going through. But you were put on this earth for a reason. There's literally a reason why you're here. Whatever you went through, like a breakup or anything like that, it was to make you stronger. It was to make you realize that maybe you were better off without this person, or maybe this person just wasn't meant to come into your life right now. Who knows? You never know what happens in the future, but everything happens for a reason. And I would say make yourself happy and love yourself first before anything. I know that sounds cliche. I know that's just, you hear that all the time. You hear that everywhere. Like, oh my God, you gotta love yourself before you love somebody else. I never believed that. I never thought that was true. I thought that was just like dumb. I just never believed in it until I actually experienced it. And it's so true. You have to love yourself before you love anybody else. Like, honestly, that's it. Because like what I experienced, I didn't love myself enough. Because if I loved myself, I wouldn't have put myself that low to that level and have no respect for me. You have to be happy in order for you to make someone else happy. So yeah, so just make yourself happy before you make anybody else happy, and love yourself before you love anybody else, regardless of anything. I am in a much happier place. Like, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm a lot happier than how I was in the beginning of this year. I'm not depressed anymore. I am better. I have a lot more friends. I gotten closer to a lot of people, that I wasn't close to before. I became more positive. I became more social. I became more extroverted. It's so crazy to me, and it makes me feel happy. God. It makes me feel happy because people tell me, like, when I look through, like the other day, my friend was telling me, like, out of the blue, she was just like, I see you happy. I see you happy. And I said, what do you mean? She's just like, I was looking through your Instagram, and I was looking through pictures that you posted before when you were going through, like, depression, and now, and you can see the change. You can see that you're happy now. And that made me so happy. She wasn't the only person that told me that. There was multiple people that told me that. They were like, oh my God, you deserve this. You deserve to be happy. Like, I can see you, that you're happy now. Like, you look happy. And all the comments that I get in my pictures, they're always like, you look happy. And I'm like, I am happy. I'm a lot happier. And they care about me. They care about my happiness. They care about how I feel and what I have and how the person that I am becoming. And that makes me so happy that I have people that surround me, that care about me and that support me throughout this whole journey and throughout my life. They support anything that I do. I started posting singing videos. I started cooking a lot more. I never cooked, and I cook a lot more. I am starting my YouTube channel. Like I'd never thought that I would do those things. And just the fact that people are there for me, and that people are there to support me. People that I don't even talk to. People that are not even my friends. Like, I've never really hung out with them. I never really had a conversation with them. They just follow me on Instagram. They are even happy for me. I get DMs on Instagram saying, like, oh my God, like, I literally just found you. Like, I saw your YouTube videos. You are so real, and I really like you. You're super happy, and you make me feel like positive and energetic and all this stuff. And I've had so many people tell me that. They're like, I love hanging around with you because you give that energy, that positive energy, that happiness that I just never felt before. And I've heard that from multiple people, and I never heard that before. This is now. Like, it's crazy to me how much I've changed and how much my life has changed. I just never thought that I could get to that point. And I just never thought, when I was down and depressed, I never thought that I could be happy again. And here I am, happy. Like I said, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm getting there. I did do a lot in 2019, and I got to this point in 2019. So I hope 2020 is a year where find my happiness. And yeah, that's where I'm at this point.